On Tuesday evening, Hudson County View spoke with Guttenberg Mayor Gerald Drasheff about the Klein Elementary School Annex, which will serve as both a school extension and a recreation center.
We met with Drasheff inside Guttenberg Town Hall. We went over blueprints laying out the plan for the Klein Elementary School renovations. He explained that the old gymnasium in the basement has been amended to include a new community room, while the annex on the first floor will have a new gymnasium with bleachers, something the old gym doesn't have, and new classrooms which will be used as part of a recreation center after 3 p.m. during the week and on the weekends. The second and third floors will have classrooms nearly identical to the first, with science labs being installed on floor 3. Finally, the $20 million project calls for a rooftop park, which will be paid for via a $600,000 grant from the county. Additionally, the Board of Education has been awarded $3.7 million from the state for the project construction, and the remaining $16.3 million has already been bonded through the council.
Well, we've already bonded for that. We've actually borrowed for the construction money already, and that'll be a long-term bond ultimately of over 25 or 30 years. Okay? And we've actually provided in our existing budgets for the paying down that loan. Like, we've been putting money into the capital budget, both towards this project and towards other projects, which now a good portion of that money will go towards paying down this loan. So the construction of this building will not have any effect on the taxes that the residents are paying from what they're paying today, because we've already allocated that money. We're also still hopeful that we may get some additional grant money. Our goal is to get the ultimate cost to build this thing down somewhere between 12 and 13 million. One part of our overall plan is we're hoping we'll get some additional ratables in over the next couple of years with some new development that's going on in town that will offset the cost of the loan. Okay? But worst case scenario, we expect we can cover the loan cost without having any increase in our current taxes.
Makes sense. And then finally, when we spoke about this issue the other day, there was at least some level of concern with one of the neighbors there, the former mayor and his family, about the demolition. So I know you guys met since then. I mean, what was the outcome there?
Well, there is no outcome yet. In fact, that's one of the things we're meeting on today in closed session to discuss where we go next. We have looked at, the demolition is proceeding. We did have the engineers over at his house the other day, checking for potential damage, because he claims there was some cracks. They've looked at it. They put some monitors on the crack. It looks like the cracks were existing cracks prior to the starting the demolition. They put some monitors on them to monitor whether they're getting worse or not. Our engineers and the engineers for the contractor were of the opinion, and our construction code official, that we can move forward with this project and continue the blasting up to a certain point away from his house. We're not going to go closer than that. As I mentioned the other day when we talked, the state provides for, you can go up to a 2.0 on the seismic meters when you're doing blasting. We have not exceeded 0.5.
Yeah, you mentioned
we're well below the state. Given that there might be some existing cracks in the property, our construction code official has recommended that we try and not go above 1.5, but that's still pretty far from where we are. Okay. Had we known that again prior to starting the blasting, and we can't know what we're not allowed to go in and see. Okay. We are still in discussion as to what we still need to be concerned about protecting his property when we dig the foundation for the new building, and we are still in discussion with him about that. We're waiting to hear from his engineer. There are also discussions about other possible alternatives and ways to resolve this. It's really a unique project in the state, I think, in terms of being a truly shared facility. The land is shared. 2 of the parcels are owned by the school. 1 was owned by us. The building is being built by the town, but being built partially with school money. The building, as I said, at the end of the day, it's going to morph into a recreational center for us. And we don't have the luxury of having the kind of land available that we can have one building for rec and another building for school. So it took a long time to get this done, but we all think around this table it was well worth doing.
I'm John Heides with the Hudson County View, the eye of the community.